Every meal has a story to tell. That is, if you're willing to look for it. I'm Danielle Pruitt, and I started Wild and Whole in 2016 with the express purpose of redefining our connection to food and exploring the qualities that make wild ingredients so profoundly unique. I'm cooking 3 different recipes. I am driven by curiosity, and my inspiration springs from harvesting food directly from its source. I've spent the past decade of my life trying to eat consciously, and believe me, it's not always easy. But it's pushed me to search in places I'd never expect for the most unpredictable of ingredients. I want to challenge your perception of what food is, where it comes from, and how those 2 elements are woven into our lives. Because connecting to our landscape through food means so much more than just the calories that sustain us. Welcome to Wild and Whole Sourced. There's something about the temporal richness of late summer produce that's special. And when my friend Brad Leone told me that this time of the year coincides with fresh clams and blue crabs near his home in Connecticut, I couldn't resist stopping by for a visit.
You know, when you think of blue claw crabs, at least like for me, like Maryland, the Chesapeake Bay kind of really like nailed that, right? Like that's like the mecca of it. And being in New Jersey, when I'd grown up with, with friends and family, we would go crabbing a lot. And I knew crabbing to be a very predominant thing in that area. Different families do it, different you get a lot of different cultures and people doing it. It's amazing.
The history of crabbing in New England runs deep. So deep that it's pretty well woven into the culture. Mind you, this isn't your giant Alaskan king crab we're talking about. They're a reason to gather around the table with friends and family.
Most people think about when they think about crab, they're always thinking like, oh, king crab or like other crabs are all better. But there's something to be appreciated about blue crab. Why do you like blue crab so much?
It's certainly a nostalgic thing and just a part of in my DNA from growing up. But if we're just going to speak on a culinary palate level, I mean, I think they're some of the sweetest, most delicious meat. It's in my opinion, some of the best meat ever. Mm-hmm. The claws are delicious, and in the bodies, I'll show you when we open them up. But the inside behind the legs, in the cavity, is just loaded with just this brilliant white sweet meat.
Brad gives me a rundown on how to construct a proper crab boil. And it doesn't involve just throwing a bunch of crabs in some water and letting it bubble. Rather, steaming is the way to go. We layer these crustaceans with red-skinned potatoes, a heavy spread of Old Bay, and of course, one of the season's most treasured harvests, fresh sweet corn. 15 to 20 minutes later, we'll have a real treat, especially when paired with the melted butter that Brad has gussied up with some homemade miso and fermented red pepper.
All right, so this is good. This is what we're looking for, guys. You want that crab to be red all the way throughout.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
That looks really good.
All that blue turns into a red, that real kind of shrimpy crustacean kind of, just looks good, right?
Yeah, this looks really good.
We're joined at the table by Brad's wife, Peggy, and their 2 kids, and I can easily see why this kind of meal holds so much appeal for all ages.
Whoa!
Yeah. I always pop the claws off, eat those separate, and then it's just crack it this way, crack it that way. That is why we do it.
All right, suck it out.
Dripping in its own little crab stock. And then look, right in the butter. Oh my God. Oh, sweet as candy, son. That's how it should look all the way throughout. If there's any translucent or jellyfish looking colored flesh, it's not quite done. And I mean, in the blue claw crab eating world, there's 2 types of people. There's folks that eat as they go, and then folks that pick and make a pile. This is a judge-free table, but I do not make piles.
I'm a pile maker.
I kind of picked that up. No, I'm just kidding.
You might have noticed that these crabs aren't gutted before boiling. That's because breaking them open before cooking risks losing all of their ocean-flavored juices.
In the world of shellfish, another really, there's oysters, there's scallops up here, but I think a really, essential part of New England, of the Northeast up here, is the Quahog Clam, the hard-shell clam. I mean, like the crab, it can be as sweet as candy, and just something that's been around and harvested in these areas for, way before you know, America was America as we know it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's really exciting to me because I don't think I've ever actually had like a wild clam. Well, this is freaking delicious.
Yeah, it's
so good.
I thank you so much for putting this on for me. We have a lot of crab to eat, but I'm more anxious to actually go out and get the crab.
100%. Oh, well, I tell you what, I mean, it's just as fun. I mean, they're delicious and they're, I mean, amazingly delicious in my opinion, but like going and getting them with friends, it's kind of, yeah, it's just
I
as,
feel like we need to complete the circle here.
oh, we're
Doing
gonna.
a lot of talking about
That's it.
eating, but
Well, let's put the work in. We'll pick out these. We'll enjoy this, and then tomorrow we'll go catch our
get
own.
more.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
So, we meet up with Brad's friend Vinny, and Brad's excitement, it's very palpable.
Ain't nothing getting out of our reach, I'll tell you what.
We're gonna lose it, sister.
The crab armada, baby.
And it's all sort of primal. We're essentially stalking these crustaceans one by one.
all right, let me see this. Ah,
Little small for my taste, but he's on the line there.
In Connecticut, blue crabs have to be at least 5 inches across, so our success isn't immediate.
there's two little ones right here.
Yeah, there's a few smalls. Net in the water. Net in the water. And just float it right over his face. He's gonna get pissed and then just get him. Nice! You!
I don't
just
know
flip
if he's
him.
big enough. It's game over now, crabs.
it.
Not quite.
Nope.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
There we go.
that's a keeper. In the basket. First keeper, boys and girls. Look at that thing. That's why they call them blue claws, and that's the male. That's what we're looking for. All right, we didn't get skunked. Got it here, actually. There's a jumbo double. Hold the lights. Jumbos! Softy and a jumbo. Oh yeah, nice crab. Go. All right. Those crabs are thick underneath us, I know it. Scoop his ass. Yep. Missed him.
Hey.
With the light, you can like see through their shells. It's incredible. Softy. Wow! Here, put him right on the deck. It'd have been real bad if you missed that one. There's a crab. You got him. Yep, perfect. Watch out, that will get you.
He looks so pissed.
Yeah, dude, crabby as hell. A nice crab, too.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
No, that claw will get you.
Oh, yeah.
But look, you see as they get bigger, how much bluer, dark blue they get?
That's so
Isn't that
pretty.
gorgeous? Nice scoop, D.
Ah, yeah.
You got it now, man. So look, soft shell, eat that thing whole, and then the big male. That's what we call home run, baby. Home run jumbos. Look, Ben, quick. Oh, right to the right, I think, or to the left. Did you?
I got him.
No. Stop. Oh, yeah, Vinny! You tried it in an eel!
That's what I'm talking about.
So we're dealing with an eel here. Oh, Captain Vinny tridented like a boss. And now we're gonna bleed it out, kill it. And just like any fish, you know, it's a, you know, whether it's an eel or a striped bass or a tuna, you treat it with the same respect if you're gonna eat it, you know, and that's bleed it out, get it cold. Crabs don't matter because they can breathe, they can live out of water for quite some time. But something like a fish or an eel, you want to kill it, get that blood out.
That was a blast.
Oh, it's incredible.
This is a lot of crabs to eat.
Yeah, you know, it depends who you ask. We did all right. You know, we got what we came for. I mean, it's all big old blue claws, and you know, catching them is the fun part, and you know, I think going and eating them too is they're just such a fun ingredient to cook with.
Yeah, like from start to finish. So how do I take care of these when we get back?
The only way I've stored them is in like a fridge or a walk-in, where you keep them in a bushel with like a wet seaweed over them. And we also, let's take a quick peek at these. Let's not undermine that we caught.
Treat of the night.
You see how they kind of just tuck in like that?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
You could literally put your pinky and go right through it.
But our New England bounty isn't complete yet. I'm still enamored with the prospect of fresh clams.
Clamming's gonna be fun, but it's a little bit more work.
How heavy is this thing?
Pick it up. It's awkward. It's actually well balanced. It's actually pretty well balanced.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be, it's in the water.
This is going to be hard.
Oh my God, it's so hard.
I didn't know I was going to get a workout in.
Yeah, well, you're doing it all. We're just going to watch.
For thousands of years, clams and other shellfish have been an invaluable food resource. They sustain generations of indigenous people in coastal parts of the Americas, and today they're a celebrated symbol of this region's connection to the ocean.
So you drop it down on an angle, because remember on the dock I showed you those teeth?
Yeah.
And then you just start to like push it down and you'll push the boat a little bit away
So
from you.
are the clams like on top of the sand or like buried in?
Buried in.
Oh.
We got to make sure that Danielle gets her workout in today.
Oh, I think she's gonna.
I felt something.
Could be a rock.
So give it. Keep those little shakes.
Keep going.
Keep it moving.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah, just keep going. She's like, clamming sucks.
Help her out a little bit, Brad. There you go.
And then watch, we'll bring it in. We didn't want to just bring you to the easiest.
No,
You know,
that's the hardest.
gotta show you.
This is definitely tedious work.
Shake it. Shake that mud all out. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Oh my
We
gosh!
check to see if they're alive by tapping them on the rake. If they aren't, they make sort of a hollow sound. And if they're alive, it's more of a thud.
They need to be gauged.
Yeah, let's gauge that one, baby.
There you go. Try that, Danielle. He cannot fit through there on any angle. Just toss them right in there. These are hard shell clams, so
Those are little necks. These are the primos.
This is a little nice.
Primo!
What's that one, a cherry?
While we did get a fair number with the long rake, you can also dig them up closer to the shore with your hands, feet, or a shorter rake. To be honest, I didn't find that I was natural at this method of take.
So when I found this one with my feet, just the kind of the mouth of it, the rim of it was kind of sticking out of the, say this was the floor,
Yeah.
it was kind of sticking out like that. So you're not trying to feel for this, more like what's that kind of thing. Because when they're sitting in the mud, they open up. Remember before we were talking how they're like little filters?
Yeah.
So they open up, they stick their mouth out, and then they filter water. And then, when a predator or something comes, they go,
Okay, I was
you know what I'm saying?
getting rocks here.
So yeah, keep them with your feet, and then when you feel something that feels, and then it's just it's a numbers game. And they're like a little bit, they're not just right on the surface. You almost have to like tool around with your toe a little.
Okay.
tool around.
You gotta tool around with the toe.
Are y'all not cold?
No,
Not at all?
it's like shivering.
I've been living in Texas too long.
Danielle, I promise
just
they
found
are down there.
Look,
Just gotta keep the spirits out.
just found this one with my feet.
Oh, Brad, yes.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'll go
You going back to the basket?
for you. Oh, look at you,
It's
Brad.
fine. I mean, they're down. I also threw one here.
Nice.
I can't find it.
Enough ordering
All
around.
right.
Someone's got a fucking clam here.
It's not me.
Danielle.
All right, I've got to find one of these damn things.
Yeah! All right, with the feet.
Did you get one?
Yes, you got one.
Oh, look out! It's a beauty.
Boy, she's smiling now.
I still want to eat some raw. So which ones are best for raw? Like there's like
It's kind of a personal preference, right? It depends who you ask. For me, my favorite are like the little neck. The smaller, the smallest we can get without falling through that ring.
These are like the best for eating raw because they're tender.
Correct.
And these you want to like
That's kind of
steam.
Steam.
Well, like again,
powder clam, fritter clams. They start to use those for.
It's a lot more clam. It's kind of like one of those things I find where it's like you start here and then you acquire a taste for the clam, and then you like, oh, all right, now I want like next size up. Let's try the next size up. You're going for it.
This is pretty.
Going for it.
Going for the big one.
You can.
Well, why not?
I think so. I mean, to me, that's taste of the ocean there. That's for sure.
A piece of shell
in there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Really good.
Delicious, right?
The flavor is
it's
good.
Sweet.
Isn't it? Amazing.
It's way sweeter
salty,
than I thought it would be.
A little bit salty, but like sweet, like amazing. I could like.
Yeah, it's tender.
Absolutely.
Really tender.
Try a little one there, Danielle, for the comparison. See if you notice any difference or not.
Some folks like a little cocktail sauce on there, or a little lemon.
You see that?
A little cocktail sauce is not bad on it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but they're so good by themselves too. Like
I think I like this one better.
See that?
Really?
This one cheese was like a little sweeter.
No kidding.
This one was a little nice and briny.
I just think to me you get a little more bang for your buck. With
Right,
it.
right. Well, great. Well, I say, well, let's get these out of here. We'll go. We went through the different sizes, and I think it'll be really cool to see how they cook up.
So I don't keep these in water. I just keep these on ice. They'll be fine.
Just on ice. Just on ice will be perfect.
Learning so much about clams.
Oh, education is fun.
I know.
You might notice we're not coming home loaded with clams. We only took what we needed and saved the rest for another day. As the pandemic proved, this is a hard concept for many, but an important one if we want a healthy relationship with our resources. Dan Meiser, renowned restaurateur and one of the owners of Stone Acre Farms, knows this all too well. His farm has a 250-year farming history and still produces excellent ingredients with the help of his team, who sustainably cultivate native plants, flowers, and heritage breed vegetables. I couldn't imagine a better place to procure our ingredients.
The fields are popping. We've got lots of different types of tomatoes. We got peppers coming out of our ears. We got sweet corn across the street, all the herbs. Some of the local orchards are bringing us plums and peaches, and the word for this time of year is abundance. We got it all.
I love it.
The sweet and briny flavors of clams and crab are going to pair so well with peppers, fresh sweet corn, and rich, juicy tomatoes, all of which are ripe and at their peak flavor.
Got a ton of stuff to cook. I'm pretty excited about it because this is like not something I get to do very often.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, we got a bunch of clams, like you said, a bunch of hard shell crabs, and then we really got lucky and got into a bunch of those soft shell crabs, which is just a real delicacy. It's such a treat and such a. It only happens, in this time of the year up here, and it's just a really fun way. You can cook it. Like with the other hard shells, you got to pick them, and these you kind of just cut the face off, and I'll show you how we do that. It sounds worse than it is. And then you peel out.
God, even their claws are soft.
Everything is soft. You eat everything. It's amazing. I like real simple. Just a little bit of salt on it, and then the little dusting of the flour, olive oil,
fry it,
and just pan fry, shallow pan fry. Yeah.
Despite their alien look, softshell crabs are easily cleaned. We remove the face and the gills. Then we separate either side of the new, soft outer shell from the interior, which lets a small amount of liquid out, making them easier to fry.
Can't trust an animal without a heart, man.
No, you gotta eat them.
You gotta eat them. All right, good. So let's get them. Before we dredge them, so it doesn't get cakey. I'll get the little olive oil in this.
Oh, you just want to dredge it right before you put it in, so it doesn't soak up.
Yeah, I don't know, right? Little olive oil.
Brad's chosen a blend of Wondra and rye flours. The Wondra is ultralight and ideal for frying, while the rye adds some nuttiness.
But you see how it shot that water out?
Yeah.
They're just keeping moisture. Oh, yeah, watch out. Just like those other ones. I mean, you can just bite it, but sometimes I break it like it was like I was eating a normal crab, and you get that big lump, that back fin meat still in there. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Delicious. Like, look at that little thing.
This is like way meatier tasting than I thought.
Right? Well, you're eating like
fried
everything.
chicken.
It is, right? Very like,
But like a light. Well, I think these are the best part.
they're so good.
This is so good. This is way better than I thought it would be.
And
This is better than I like.
and we
this
caught
better than
them.
the crab
You
boil.
know, like
Yeah.
going to some. And listen, I'm all about your local fishmonger, but it doesn't get any fresher. We handled it from the moment we pulled it out to the moment we cooked it. The accountability is there. We know how that animal was treated. And
We
how
know
it
the
was
water
preserved.
it was in. We know that it was clean. Everything about it.
I mean, something just like anything, but crabs, you know, some things are on the bottom like that, and I feel like they're just such a product of their environment, you know, and being able to get them from just good waters and then being able to, you know, just like fish or venison or anything for that matter, it really is how you treat it after.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know this about me, but I only cook what I've hunted or fished for myself or my husband in like almost like the last 10 years. So
That's
this
amazing. That's impressive. Good for you.
thank you. So this is like the best thing ever for me. This is what I live for, being able to try and do something new, because I don't really go clamming ever. I don't ever get to cook clams. So this is like a very new experience for me that's just a ton of fun. So what I've decided to do is cook these in a really flavorful broth. I brought some Axis Venison Sausage.
Incredible.
That's been seasoned with some garlic and smoky paprika. And I got a bunch of produce from Stone Acre Farms, and everything's very seasonal. So I was really inspired by the peppers and the tomatoes and the sweet corn. So that's gonna go into the sort of the stew that we're doing with some white wine, some water, and what I kind of learned from you is that I think what's so special about clams is they are nice and closed up, which means all the like flavor in water
Correct.
is in
So
here.
it's alive still, right?
Yeah.
And so what a clam is doing, it's a, you know, that filter, and it's just it took out of the water. It thinks it's low tide or whatever a clam's thinking, probably not much, and it's just holding all of its own little clammy liquid in there, salt water, its own little brine. It's a powerhouse. It's like you want to drink it. It's incredible. So like you don't want to go diluting that too much. I found if you wanted to add a little more liquid, add it at the end.
Okay.
The corn, tomatoes, and peppers here all are ultra fresh, which means that our job is to merely highlight their existing flavors, not to bury them. So, like the soft shells, we're keeping it simple and just giving them a char, which will ultimately deepen the flavor of the broth.
So you're just gonna sweat that out, little olive oil.
Yeah, I'm gonna brown the sausage first.
Oh, cool.
So it's fresh sausage. It's
Like
not
loose?
cased.
Yeah.
Yeah, loose. It's not in casings.
I love loose sausage.
I do too. I almost like prefer
I don't want to
that
say
over-
underrated, but kind of underrated.
Well, they are, because especially for this dish, because like
It's an ingredient.
I want the clams to open up, and I want to be able to like have like little flavor.
speckles in it.
Yeah.
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 You
So I
get
want
it.
to like break it up really nicely.
You sure you're not from New England?
When deciding how to cook the clams, I let my ingredients be the inspiration. The venison sausage is heavily influenced by Spanish cuisine and contains lots of garlic and smoked paprika, which pairs incredibly well with the smoky charred tomatoes and pepper.
Every time when you get that feeling, you're feeling fine. Just get on up, don't settle down. Wanna see you dance around.
This is a really easy, different kind of, at least when I say different, maybe in New England, you know, but I feel like around the world this kind of a dish is cooked quite often. And it's a recipe from my book, Field Notes for Food Adventure, coming out in November. Pretty excited about it. And one of the chapters is crabbing. And the recipe is it's called like a chili split. I do like a chili split crab over rice, which I already made. And yeah, it's basically I cook it in a wok or a skillet with some shallots. You sweat out like the way you started.
The
your
whole
clam.
crab.
I cut it in half.
Brad's dish is loaded with bright, bold, fresh flavors too. We've got garlic, ginger, scallions, and shallots.
Now this will go quick, right? We don't like garlic to burn, so I'm gonna add that in there. Let it stir for a second.
Then he adds a fermented red pepper paste and miso, which is basically a fermented soybean paste. These additions help build umami flavors and deepen the character of the dish.
Doesn't need to cook much, but I like to give it a little blast real quick. Oh, you smell that?
Oh yeah. Oh, it smells so good. It smells amazing.
Crack a towel. Right in he goes. All right, a little more wine. A little bit of water.
You have butter out. Do we need butter?
Yeah, a little bit of butter in there too. And by a little, I mean like 2-3 tablespoons. Yeah, seafood and butter, I mean, kind of hard to argue, right?
Oh yeah, they release a lot of liquid.
Oh yeah. And that's gonna let us build that crab sauce.
Oh, yum.
So I'll turn that up in a second and let it really get dripping there. So we'll just let them hang out like we were saying. You do want them to be cooked all the way, right?
They look
at that.
close.
Isn't that incredible? They are getting close.
One thing I've learned through fishing is that you don't always come out with like what you like think you're gonna cut. Like you can't have any expectations of what you're gonna come home with. So like a lot of times you only get a couple crabs. This is like a perfect recipe for like a small amount. You don't have to have like a massive crab boil.
You're going on a dock, sometimes it's just like slow, you know? So you get 2 or 3, you know, it's still, you can pull off a nice little, you know, you're not dumping 2 or 3 on a picnic table, but you can make a little dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, this is pretty.
Rice.
Oh, rice. Okay, I'm gonna grab
let's dig in.
these.
Oh, these things are beautiful. You get a little broth in there. Right, these things are the perfect little little spoon too. That's it. That's the clam right there, cooked nicely.
That's so good.
Like you said, you know, it was hard. It's hard work. It's hard going and getting them, but like anything, crabbing or clamming, you know, it's like it's always a little better when you earned it, though. You know.
Oh, I know. This was just great, all on its own.
Like a little crab lollipop. Look at that thing. Woo!
Oh, it's good. Ooh.
Delicious.
That's so good. The chili sauce, like I tasted a lot of that miso, and that's like that is like the sort of oomph you want to just like keep eating more of it.
Yeah.
That's a great recipe.
Well, so, I mean, for someone who doesn't cook a lot of clams, you hit a home run with that one. And
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a blast going clamming with you, and you know, going crabbing and stuff, and then cooking together was awesome.
I love everything that we did, even the freezing cold water of clamming.
By freezing cold, I just want to be clear, it was like 75.
No, it was so cold. It was freezing. It was freezing. I'm a Texas girl.
It wasn't a hot day either.
I wouldn't have. I'm happy that I found my one clam in that situation, but the whole thing was great. It was a blast.
And crabbing is just, I feel like you really clicked
oh my
with the
god,
crabbing, right?
no, that was like so much fun.
Sure.
I'm totally doing that again.
Well, anytime,
That's, like,
open
my new
door.
thing.
Come on back anytime.
New England is unique with its historic roots and long established food traditions. But unless you're charting new and unexplored territory, there's a food culture wherever you live. Either way, I find the best meals are the ones that leave me feeling grateful for the ingredients and the experience of bringing it to the dinner table.